We are going to give everyone just a minute more here, or 30 seconds to jump on this webinar. Just wanted to welcome you. I'm Christine Gannon, and I'll be your moderator this morning. So we're going to give everyone just a couple seconds. We have a lot of people joining us this morning. All right, we will go ahead and get started. And hopefully we have everyone able to get into the webinar easily. Again, I'm Christine Gannon. Welcome. I'm your moderator this morning. I'm so pleased to launch this series of webinars with you, kicking off with IT and cybersecurity. And we look forward to providing some significant value to you for a new job or career search in IT and cybersecurity. And first, just thank you to everyone who's sitting around the table, who's worked so hard to bring this together, and for WESTMARC leading the charge. We're honored today to have several esteemed experts with us, and we'll hear from them in just a few minutes. A couple of housekeeping items for you. Number one, in case of a security hack or any kind of technology glitch, we will shut down the webinar and then restart it. So please rejoin if that were to happen. And second, if you have a question for any of the speakers, presenters, or overall question during the webinar, if you would drop that in the chat box and not the question box. So before we launch into our presentations, I wanted to ask a trivia question. Does anyone know how many residents we have in the West Valley? Does anyone know the population number? Go ahead and drop that in the chat box. Anyone have a guess? All right, well, I will go ahead and share with you. We have 1.7 million residents in the West Valley. And so with that amount of people in the West Valley, a good number of those are job seekers. They're West Valley professionals that are looking for employment, whether it's a job or a career. And so with WESTMARC leading the charge, and other professionals and agencies all came together to build a strategy to serve the West Valley. And so this webinar is part of that strategy. It's the only strategy of its kind in our state, potentially the country. And the intent is really to showcase the diverse and highly skilled workforce within these 15 cities, with the goal to not only provide meaningful opportunities for you as the job seeker, but also to continue to attract great companies and increase economic development in this region. So today we launched this webinar series with a focus on IT and cybersecurity. We've brought together subject matter experts, employers, training and education providers, workforce development partners, all to address the current landscape of IT and cybersecurity. We also have Pipeline AZ with us today, which is the platform that will connect you with assistance, resources, and possibly most importantly, matching you with employers who are seeking your skill set and awesomeness. So the next 3 weeks following this webinar, we'll talk about this a little later in the webinar, but just so you know, the next 3 weeks will be filled with matching activity, directly connecting you, the job seeker, with employers, and Pipeline AZ will help lead this effort. So a couple more housekeeping items and then we'll kick off. If you need to leave for some reason before 9:30 and the end of our webinar, it is being recorded. And second, your registration to this webinar is one of 2 actions for you to take as a job seeker. The second action is for you to register your profile for job matching on Pipeline AZ so that the next 3 weeks can be the best 3 weeks. And Mary will provide all the important details later in this webinar. So at this time, I'd like to introduce our panelists who are respected industry subject matter experts. First up, we have Ron Babich. Ron is the chairman for the West Valley Innovation Center Alliance. Ron is a serial entrepreneur, a startup addict, podcaster, and investor. Ron is the CEO of Easy Voice, which is an AI platform for enterprise customers that include American Express and NBC Universal Studios. He was the inaugural winner of the AMA Marketer of the Year Award and has contributed to CMP, SMS, Project Management Institute, AZ Big Media, and other publications. He has 2 IPO exits, 6 startup exits, specializes in startups and converting companies to profitability. Please help me welcome Ron Babich.
Thanks for the introduction, Christine. That's very generous. And I'm happy to be here. Thanks for everybody joining the workshop and the webinar today. I'll be brief, but I'm super excited to talk about what's going on in the West Valley in terms of uniting our IT front and our West Valley resources in both jobs, startups, investment, etc. So just a brief summary about West Valley Innovation Alliance. About 3 years ago, we recognized that there needed to be some unity in the West Valley to create an epicenter so that we in the West Valley could take some leadership when it comes to IT. So West Valley Innovation Alliance is a nonprofit. We've been around for now 2+ years. We've helped funded 16+ companies. We've got about 200+ members. And then we're a strong partner with WESTMARC. They just do wonderful things together. And it's a partnership effort. All right, I'm going to click the next slide. Here we go. Speaking of partnership efforts, so these are just some of the logos on the screen of the organizations that we partner with, but the versatility of the engagements are kind of all over the place. So it's finance, investors, education, cities are a real big piece of all of this stuff. So it's meant to kind of be that unity that brings everybody together so that we can share our resources and know where to go to when we need to. We have a strong focus on getting investors kind of tied into those that have innovative ideas and startups and individuals that have something to offer but are looking for a place to get started. It helps support the investor ecosystem like in a huge way because without a West Valley ecosystem on the investor side, investors don't know where to invest. It also helps provide a mentorship program for those startups and those innovators who are looking for help, who want to work with folks that have been there and done that. The West Valley is extremely privileged to have so many exit CEOs and CIOs and startup exits right here in the West Valley. So we help kind of connect that as well. It also helps provide with education, a lot of centralized education resources with pitch events that are done, as well as educational workshops that we do on a regular basis. And probably most importantly, it empowers our community collectively. So rather than just have in terms of one city offering a program, we bring all the cities together to help kind of empower the community together. And lastly, which is that point, is it unifies that city collaboration. So instead of a lot of disparate resources, we collectively do our best to kind of bring those things together. The problem that we solve typically is on the left-hand side there, if those balloons, we have students that would like to get going in IT with innovation projects. We have a ton of entrepreneurs who are in the same light, and then we have startup companies that are either in progress or they'd like to be in progress. And there's this disconnect between this great idea and the mentors that we have in the West Valley, the companies that we have in the West Valley, and the investors that we also support the West Valley. Up until recently, it's been kind of that thing in the middle where you finally get there, but you go through a lot of turmoil trying to figure out, if I'm a student, how do I get some help on this project that I'd like to get started on? Or if I'm an entrepreneur, how do I get connected? And it's kind of always been that way. So the purpose of the organization is to kind of help bring that all together. So the center spot there are the 4 main kind of bubbles that we kind of provide. Number one is we provide a unique programming educational workshop series that helps all the way through from product origination to actually getting out to the market with our programming workshops. Probably one of the biggest things that we do is the pitch events we do on a regular basis, where we'll do pitch awards and we'll do awards for innovative ideas to help startups kind of get off the ground, also to provide feedback for those startups so that they can get better products out to the market. Also, because of the teams that we work with, there's a credibility thing that gets added there for those ideas. And then probably the most important thing is it builds the synergy together for the West Valley rather than disparate energies throughout. And the shocking thing is, and this is a true story map. So that the right side of that red box there is it's about I-17, and all the little blue dots there represent all the tech companies that are in our valley. So, and this is the great opportunity for us. Less than 2% of all the tech companies in our metro area are in the West Valley. So that's our crusade, and that's what we're here to change, and that's what we're here talking about today, is that mission to make sure that 2% gets to 102%, right? So we want to have most of them. To the point earlier on population, it's not that we don't have the resources, because over 35,000 IT and programming experts live here in the West Valley. The unfortunate part is a huge number of those travel to the East Valley every day. About 275,000, I think, folks travel to the East Valley for their jobs. The good news is, though, however, the average salary from a IT perspective is $95,000 and up on average for each one of those jobs that we create in IT and technology. So it's a great investment in our community. It's a great idea for us to do, and the timing couldn't be better. There's something called the 18% Silicon Valley rate right now, which is essentially for those Silicon Valley, for those San Francisco folks that are looking to exit, which has been going on now even before COVID, a year and a half before COVID, to go someplace else and make a choice to pick Colorado or Arizona or go live someplace else. This is the perfect place to do that. And with those folks, the wage base is even higher. So our $95,000 average for IT and reported jobs in the West Valley is even higher than that. So it's a great opportunity for us to take advantage of that. And this is a great place to live and take care of that lifestyle. And probably the biggest picture that we could paint, which solves more than just the West Valley stuff, is that there is a North Scottsdale tech order, there's an East Valley tech order, and there's been a building Central Phoenix tech order. Now is our opportunity to help build that West Valley tech order and kind of make it so that the entire valley is known for technology versus just pockets of technology within Arizona. To support that, one of the last things that I'll mention is that we have recently been approved for a tech center in downtown Glendale that we're working on with the EDA and some federal folks to help kind of build a central hub for all of those things to kind of exist together. So we're super excited about that. We're looking to hopefully launch as early as January of 2021 for the physical location of that. But it's super exciting, and it'll create that physical hub that we've long needed. And with that, I'll open it up to questions. And I think that's my last slide. Yes.
So as a reminder, if you have questions for Ron, please drop them in the chat box. And we will have time for Q&A also after the next couple of our presenters.
All right.
Ron, thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Next, we have Chip Burns. Chip is the Chief Information Technology Officer for Sun Health. He has over 44 years experience in the IT field, specializing in technology for the senior living industry since 1997. He served as a commissioner for the Center for Aging Technologies for 10 years, and he was co-founder and sponsor of the Leading Age Hackfest. Chip, welcome.
Good morning, everybody. As Christine said, I'm with Sun Health, and Sun Health is a senior living organization. We have 3 senior living communities in and around Surprise, Arizona. We also have a home health business and a wellness business. And there's a tremendous need for technologists in healthcare, but in senior living healthcare specifically. Want to go over with you just some items about cyber security, something you may know or may not. So just some quick facts. I'm not going to read them all, but in terms of how we look at cybersecurity and what it costs us, you can see that 62% of the businesses have experienced phishing and social engineering attacks, and this is back in 2018. It's only increased. I think you'll also, as we hear especially during the election, some intervention from China and perhaps Russia and other foreign countries, that will only continue to rise. A data breach, if you know about HIPAA, which is Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, the privacy of health information is so critical. To steal, and I'll show you some slides, to steal a credit card, I'm going to show you the cost of what it is on the black market, but the average cost of a credit card transaction that's stolen is about $400. The average cost of a stolen Social Security or Medicare number is 3 times that. When you talk about Medicare fraud, when you talk about fraud for pharmacy and so forth. So the cybersecurity is a real thing, especially in healthcare. So as I was starting to talk about, we have hacker attacks every day, and every day, every 39 seconds. So at Sun Health, we have thwarted an average of 8,000 attacks every week. And that's our normal virus protection firewall capabilities. And we log all the attempts, and we have, of course, cybersecurity audits every year to look at and improving our systems and how much we're getting attacked. What's the cost of a data breach in healthcare? A single highest one was 6.5 million. You probably heard of ransom software where a hacker will get into your system and encrypt the data on your network, and you can't read it unless you pay a ransom through the dark web, and then they'll unencrypt it. This is becoming more and more a factor. We have 4.1 billion records exposed in the first half of 2019, and you've heard, major companies like Target and major banks and even the Social Security Administration has been hacked and exposed a lot of information, medical information, as well as personal and credit information. There will be 3.5 million unfilled cybersecurity jobs next year. So you're looking at a great opportunity for education. Earlier, I started talking about what is the cost. What does a black market pay for any of these records? I don't know if you can see this slide very well, but it's a certain amount of what a black market will pay for that. And then, of course, what they can make is a higher factor than any of these things. So, we certainly have a technology and caregiver shortage in our industry in healthcare, and that's not just senior living. That's acute care hospitals, that's post-acute in senior living, and in any aspect of healthcare, whether it's pharmacy, therapy, rehab, those kinds of things. We have a tremendous lag in technologists, not only in cybersecurity, but in other areas. Want to quickly show you the jobs in healthcare on the network side and on the client or user side. So obviously, network architect, network administrator, sys administrator, database administrator, application programmer, cybersecurity specialist, there it is, and communications engineer, a business application specialist, trainers, data analysts, field technicians, help desk, healthcare informatics, and project manager. Want to talk quickly about healthcare informatics. So regarding cybersecurity, a healthcare informatics specialist is someone who understands clinical systems, understands the security issues, and is a highly sought after position. And they can take and analyze data from many disparate systems, let's say a clinical system, a financial system, a payroll system, and they can pull all that information into a data warehouse. And they have to be quite aware of security issues. A starting salary for somebody who is qualified as a healthcare informatics is around 90K in this area. In terms of a cyber security specialist, and you can have, for example, a Windows or Microsoft certification for cybersecurity. Those technicians that have those certifications are making 75 to 95,000 a year. So really, really great opportunity there. Here's some jobs out there. I'm going to skip over this because it really doesn't talk deeply about cybersecurity. Here's some of the top roles to look at in terms of IT in healthcare. Obviously, you know, you're all aware of these kinds of jobs in terms of what's out there for technology. These are especially significant in healthcare, especially when we're talking about from a technical or network facing position or a user facing position, where you're really working with people to try to help them use their systems optimally. This is, you know, we're really advancing on some of the technologies, wearable technology and predictive analysis. So those are kinds of things that are coming in our field of healthcare. So thank you for letting me present to you, and I'll pass it on.
Chip, thank you so much for your presentation and your information. Do we have any quick questions from our audience for Chip? All right, we are going to move on to Todd Stewart. So Todd is the Principal Cyber Security Analyst for SRP. He's been with SRP for 18 years, with the most recent being 10 in cybersecurity services. He is a certified information systems auditor and holds a GIAC critical controls certification. He's also certified in organizational change management, holds a foundation certificate in information technology infrastructure library best practices. In addition, Todd has completed extensive training in social engineering and open source intelligence gathering. And when he's not trying to keep people safe online, he spends his free time learning more about cybersecurity and the evolving landscape of cyber threats. Todd, welcome.
Thank you for having me. And hearing the bio is kind of strange to hear somebody talk, you know, about you. But I really am obsessed with what's going on in the industry. So Chip set a wonderful stage for me, and I thank you for that, Chip, because I'm going to talk to you today about cybersecurity at SRP, how we do it, but also a little bit about the industry of cybersecurity and the skill set of what a cybersecurity analyst or technician might be. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer them. As I was preparing for this, I did some research, and Chip had mentioned too, we are an industry in need. We're underemployed. Cybersecurity needs good people. We need people that are passionate, people that are curious, people that want to get involved in protecting things. Last year, there was I'm looking at my notes off screen, there was about a 31% gap between people that had cybersecurity jobs and the need. There is a tremendous growth in this industry. So I want to encourage all of you job seekers to maybe not look just at your little own road, but maybe think outside of that and take a chance at something like this, because this can be and is a very fulfilling career. So let me get going here. If I can, stop letting me forward. There we go. So at SRP, we are the department charged with reducing cyber risk. You can never make anything 100% secure, but we can reduce the risk. And we do that by empowering our people, our processes, and our technology. So we use various types of controls, and a control is something that is in place. It's either a person, a process, or a technology that helps keep things safe. So we use administrative and technical methods for controls. We have preventative, corrective, detective. We respond to incidents. We have remediation for certain things, and we continually measure our effectiveness. We're always trying to get better. Every day, if we can move a little bit more to help keep SRP safe, we try to, because we understand that we're part of everybody's life every day. Nobody ever calls SRP and says, hey, thanks, I just hit the light switch and the lights went on. But we'll definitely hear if the lights don't go on. So we want to make sure that we can keep those things going for everybody. At SRP, when we look at cybersecurity, we look at it in a very holistic way. So here are the management areas that we use. And as you can see, it's pretty diverse. And that is really cybersecurity in a nutshell. It's way more diverse than people think. A lot of people think it's this really cool NCIS kind of thing. You're in the basement hammering away at a black screen with green teleprint, and there's more to it. There's a lot more to it. So as you can see, all of these areas that we have create a very holistic system for cybersecurity. And all of these areas have very diverse skill sets. And these skill sets are desperately needed to help people keep cybersecurity at the high level that we need to keep it at. So at SRP, generally the career path follows this. So you become as an intern or a trainee. It's 0 to 3 years. After that time, you're hired on, you become an associate analyst. After a couple of years, you can move up to the junior and then the senior ranks. And then of course, the level I'm at, which is a principal. And if you like, there's tons of opportunity for leaders at Salt River Project. But all along this path, your skills are built, and they're built with various trainings, various types of interactions. We don't just look for somebody's technical acumen. When we bring somebody in, say as an intern or a trainee, we try to build them as a complete employee. And hopefully they stay with us, and if they don't, that's great. But we'll take an intern, and during their course of time with us, yes, they'll be working in the job position, but we also make them write their resumes. We also have them do presentations. We also have them take on projects and be responsible for things. We want to really evolve the person so that when they either stay with us or they step out into the industry, they are a benefit for whoever they're working for. So if you're looking for a job in cybersecurity, or you're considering a job in cybersecurity, there's some things you could look at, definitely. So consider learning about what controls are and tools. If you have skills in firewalls or networks or endpoint administration, I was a system administrator before I went into cybersecurity. And let me tell you, technology is one thing. Cybersecurity is a completely different vocabulary, a completely different skill set. But you can leverage all of those things that you learned, and you can use that to help you, jump off into a great career in cybersecurity. And one thing I really want to emphasize is the power skills. And a lot of people call them soft skills. We don't think of them as soft skills. They're really powerful. If you are somebody that can talk to the business and also talk to the technical people, you can be that bridge between things. That is very powerful. That makes you really, really, really wanted, and people will seek you out to help get guidance for things. And I can't emphasize enough, you don't have to be hyper technical to work in security. We can train you, but if you have awesome skills, you can communicate, you're organized, those little intangibles make a world of difference to the organization that you're working for. If you're seeking a career in cybersecurity, there are certificates that you can get out there. Many of these are not required, but they certainly help your resume. We won't sit you down, at least at SRP, and go, okay, can you define the critical controls for us? What's control 18? But we would like to see somebody that's taken effort in order to better their knowledge and skills within the industry. There is a wonderful organization. They're actually a cybersecurity training organization. They're called SANS. They are acutely aware of the need for good cyber talent in this country. And if you go to SANS, they have the cybersecurity skills roadmap and some great resources to help people seeking for the career. So I'll make sure that we get this over so we can get it out to everybody, but it is a great resource. If you're looking at the industry and you're curious about what kind of opportunities are there, what skill sets you might need, it's a really good resource to look at. I mentioned earlier at cybersecurity, we take interns. We have a great intern right now, and we put them into 2 different environments. So every organization has unique needs. Chip had mentioned informatics. I'd never heard of that before, but it really reminded me of what we have at SRP. So we're the power company, right? That power company side uses operational technology. And that operational technology is increasingly becoming more attached to the web, which is why we need really, really good people that understand the risk with that. So we put them on the OC, the operational side, so they can work with SCADA systems, which are supervisory control and data acquisition systems. Those are the systems used to open like a dam. You open up the floodgates or to start generating power. And these are the systems the bad guys, the really bad guys, want to get to. So we give people exposure to that, why it's so important to protect these things. And then we help build the skills in our IT and cybersecurity side to help make sure that they can put the right skill set to ensure that when you hit that light switch, Russia's not keeping it from turning on. Looking forward, man, what you know today in cybersecurity is irrelevant because in 18 months or less, it's going to change. So as we are evolving, we're looking for people that are agile, that can move and not get stuck in very certain ways because things change so rapidly in our industry. I mean, just look at the pandemic and how much that has changed how you work. Well, for us, it changed how we have to defend SRP because it radically, I'll go ahead and move forward, it radically altered the threat, the attack surface. So what used to be, as we called it, defense in depth, a nice little place where you would put your company's data behind your own firewalls and keep things safe. Well, the cloud has changed that. The pandemic has changed that because now everybody's working from home. So what that means is now the new perimeter, the new fence to keep people out is your password. Something as simple as that. If somebody breaches your password, now suddenly they have access to your company. So it is an ever-evolving landscape. We're going to see huge leaps here coming pretty quick with privacy. We need people that can understand those privacy laws, people that can write policies, people that can develop awareness programs and organizational change management programs to help support their company. So the skill set isn't just technical. The skill set is really those power skills as well for people that can communicate, people that can keep things organized, people that can stay on top of things, that can look at intelligence and help interpret that and how it's going to impact their organization. So just remember, cybersecurity, when you hear it, it's not one product or one technology or one person or one team. It's all of us. It's everything we do holistically, everything we do together. So if you're curious about cybersecurity, you're the kind of person that wants to be in an amazing, fascinating, kind of scary sometimes career, it's the one for you. And don't be scared to take a shot at it because we need good people. And if you're a good person, we're going to find you and we're going to make the best of it. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Todd, thank you so much.
Christine, this is KJ. We do have a question for Todd. I'm transitioning into a cybersecurity role from being a business analyst and MBA. I'm currently enrolled in the CompTIA A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus certifications. What would my path be with SRP?
Your path with SRP would be to come in, if you have your degree and you have the certification, you would skip the intern part, you would come in as a junior analyst. And then from there, within our department, we have 5 separate teams. We have some architects that look at the future. You know, they bring solutions in to SRP, want to make sure security is baked into them. We have an identity and access management team. We have an assurance team. These are the folks that work with our compliance and regulatory issues. We have a threat management team, which is our Uber geeks, the cool guys that look at the packets on the wire. And then we have the team that I work for, which is the business awareness team. We're the bridge between the business and cybersecurity. So if you're a business analyst, you would probably be looking to a position like on my team, because that was my former role as well. We are the bridge to help people understand what needs to be done. We're the people that have to, when somebody's doing something not so secure, we're the folks that get with them and help them understand why it's not secure and how to do it securely. We don't want to say no. We want to find a way to make it work for everybody. So it's a very flexible, dynamic role. And if you have that business analyst skill, use it. Don't go to a cybersecurity interview and think, man, I don't know what OWASP is or what the top 20 controls are. Go in there and share your skills that you have for analyzing, interpreting, and implementing. And people will need that. Trust me.
Todd, we have another question for you. How do we apply to be an intern or trainee?
Just go to srpnet.com. You'll see it posted. Pretty simple.
Any other questions, KJ?
Nope, we're good.
Thank you very much, everybody.
So Todd, Ron, and Chip, I have to tell you, after your presentations, I want to change my profession. Sounds like too much fun. I have a question for the three of you because it might be a different perspective. Why do you think there's such a gap? I think, Todd, you said 31% potentially in terms of the gap between the jobs that are available and the people to fill them. Chip, Ron, what are your thoughts as well in terms of why do we have such a gap?
Well, personally, I feel it's Todd was kind of alluding to it, just the speed with which we were going to the cloud, the speed with which more and more people are using applications online to do things, credit card transactions, interoperabilities with hospitals, sending health information back and forth. I mean, the explosion of that then has created this need to protect. And obviously, once, 10, 20 years ago, we thought, computers were solid and foolproof, and we know they're not. We know that every time a great company like Microsoft creates a new operating system, somebody has figured out how to hack it.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Ron.
no, that's a great point. But I was going to say that at the end of the day, companies are looking for experience, and that's the catch-22 of all this stuff. So just a little tiny bit of experience just goes a huge amount of way. So the intern program at SRP and all the other things that are available out there, it's just priceless, and it just catapults you to a new level. So yeah, the experience, I think, is the big gap.
Absolutely. And if you think about it too, cybersecurity is relatively new to technology. I mean, the department that I'm in is only actually 10 years old. So I've been in it since it started. And things have changed so rapidly that people aren't getting that experience. And there's just such a need because technology is moving so fast. Yeah, you guys are spot on. I agree.
There's one more point. A couple of years ago, you were telling your kids to go to to engineering schools, get an engineering degree. That's the real place for it. Now, and over the last 8 or 10 years, it's no, go to a liberal arts school. We can teach you technology. Right. That we can teach you. But back to what Todd was saying about being able to communicate, being able to connect with the people that are in need, being able to understand what their needs are and be able to turn that into technology, that is the key skill.
Agreed.
Great. Thank you so much. Job seekers, I'm hoping you found as much value as I did in terms of the information. And Todd, something you said I think is really important. I want to reiterate that there were many things that were super important that came out of this discussion, but you said a little bit of experience goes a long way. Or Ron, maybe you said that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll take credit for it.
I'm sorry. A little bit of experience goes a long way. So I want to really encourage job seekers, if you see positions where there's an opportunity to jump on it. So thank you again. We are going to move on to the next segment of our webinar this morning. We're going to talk about workforce development resources, and we're fortunate to have with us today Sarah Zapia, the Business Services Representative from Arizona at Work, Maricopa County, and Ron Mack, Awareness Partner from Goodwill of Central and Northern Arizona. Sarah is based at the Career Center in Glendale and works specifically with West Valley businesses and job seekers. And prior to joining Arizona at Work a year ago, she served as the General Manager for Regional Shopping Outlet Center. Ron works within the Community and Business Development Department at Goodwill of Central and Northern Arizona. And besides his main focus of creating relationships and networking, he enjoys helping connect people with resources and employment opportunities. Ron and Sarah, welcome.
Thank you, Christine. Good morning, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you all everything that Arizona at Work, Maricopa County has to offer job seekers and employers. Just for a little background information. I can move my, oops, jumped ahead a little bit. There we go. Okay, Arizona at Work is part of a statewide workforce development network, and we provide services to both job seekers looking for the right fit and also assist employers with recruiting and developing and retaining the best employees they have. Jumped ahead too far there. There we go. Now, that's really what this morning is all about. It's the ultimate matchmaking event. Our goal is not just to find jobs for job seekers and employees for employers, but it's to help create a long-term employment relationship so that you're not necessarily back here in a year looking to find a new position because you're unhappy. The goal is to get you in with an SRP or Sun Health to grow in that organization, and the employer to develop those employees and give them endless opportunities. So what do we have to offer at Arizona at Work? Well, the first thing we ask our job seekers to do is to create a free account on the Arizona Job Connection. And this is the statewide job board. And as of a few days ago when I created this slide, it showed just over 67,000 job openings and just under 12,000 resumes posted. And what's really great about this is it offers job seekers the opportunity to not only see who's hiring and what jobs are out there, but where they're located. Yes, this is a West Valley event, but the West Valley is quite large. You know, if you live in Avondale, do you want to work close to Avondale? If you live in Glendale, do you want to work close to Glendale? I think everyone is reevaluating their commute times right now. So this gives you an opportunity to really hone in on where those positions are. Now, because we know that at any time of year, any year, our skills or our services are critical to job seekers, it was very important for us that throughout the pandemic, our career centers remained open in both Glendale and Gilbert. We needed to make sure that our job seekers had computer access, access to job leads and career exploration. But we also converted a number of our workshops to virtual platforms so that we could continue to assist with resume writing and interview techniques. The point was we wanted to meet our job seekers where they are, whether that be at home or in our career center offices. That's not all. One of the things we like to do is make sure that we continue our relationship with our job seekers. So in order for us to stay connected, one of the easiest ways for us to do that is through our job blast. And this comes out twice weekly. It provides current job openings, relevant training opportunities, information about hiring events, both in person, which we see are coming back, as well as virtual hiring events, and numerous resources that are available throughout the Valley. Very easy to sign up. Simply text AZF to 22828 to get started, and I will put that in the chat after I'm finished, Christine. Let's go ahead, let me see. Let's go ahead and look at specific IT, again, just a sampling of some top IT industry jobs in Phoenix and the West Valley. As you can see, there are some great opportunities. And again, just a sampling. So how can we at Arizona at Work help you prepare as you apply for these roles? One of the things our research has shown us, and Todd, so happy that you touched on it, the top skills desired by employers seeking IT talent: communication, collaboration, thinking critically, problem solving, customer service. These are all, we've referred to them as employability skills or soft skills, but Todd, I want to borrow that. I love that. Power skills. That's great. That's a great way to label it. And so you may be asking, okay, I think I might have these, but how do I know? What if I don't? How do I learn them? That's where we can help you. The Arizona Career Readiness Credential, which is available at our organization as well as others to no cost to job seekers. Actually, an initiative set by Governor Ducey in partnership with Arizona at Work and the Office of Economic Opportunity. And as part of the ACRC credential, the employability skills courseware helps the job seekers develop and demonstrate personal and interpersonal attitudes, behaviors that again are critical to those employers in both learning and in your careers. And what's really cool about this is that it is a recognized and valuable credential with employers. So if you go into your job search, your interview, and that ACRC credential is on your resume, employers know that you indeed have those necessary skills. And they can check off that box on their very long list of does this candidate have what I need? So it automatically makes them aware that, okay, this person has the skills I need. So next you might be asking, what about those certifications that were touched on? Hard skills. Okay, again, just a sample of the top certifications desired by employers. And those of you watching, these are probably very familiar to you. And I think that last one, Certified Ethical Hacker, has become a very focused position now and is out there as well. Again, our research shows us that these are some of the top certifications that the IT candidates, desired IT candidates should have. So again, where can you obtain this training? We can help out with that as well. We work with a number of eligible training providers, some of whom you'll hear about today, and that list is constantly being updated. As the gentleman before me said, all of this training, it has to be the right training for the most in-demand occupations. Now, of course, for these certifications, there are some specific requirements for job seekers, but we can take you through all of that when you reach out to us. And I know I've kind of gone through that rather quickly, but for information on both the ACRC and the career readiness credentials, the eligible training providers, just reach out to us at maricopa.gov/find-a-job and complete a very brief online job seeker inquiry form. We'll contact you directly and learn more about your needs and how we can help you navigate that job search process. And finally, here's my contact information, and please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to assist, as all of my colleagues at Arizona at Work. Just remember, stay strong and stay hopeful. I was in your position just about a year ago, and I learned so much about our community and all of the people and the organizations who are just so anxious and passionate to help job seekers, help you find the right fit. And trust me when I say there is the right fit for everyone. There truly is, and many people want to assist you in that. So please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. Thank you.
Sarah, thank you so much. I wanted to remind people, if they didn't know already and you haven't seen it in the community, one of your slides, you showed the training, and some of that training through the City of Phoenix and Maricopa Community Colleges, there's a grant available to pay for that training. So there's a couple different ways that that you can access that, and we can drop some information in the chat, but it shouldn't prevent people from moving ahead, Sarah. So I just wanted to share that information. KJ, do we have any questions?
Yeah, we do have a question about if the speakers are on LinkedIn to be followed up with.
Everyone is shaking their head yes. There'll also be a slide at the end of our webinar to share with you contact information. So that's coming as well. Next, I'd like to introduce Ron. Ron, welcome. Gave you an introduction a little bit earlier. Are you still muted?
He should be good now.
Okay, there you go, Ron.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So I'm the Senior Community Awareness Partner with Goodwill of Central and Northern Arizona. And I just want to start by saying anyone who isn't familiar with Goodwill of Central and Northern Arizona, I usually tell everyone to raise their hand if they've ever been to a Goodwill store. And hopefully a lot of you have at some point, or you've donated to a Goodwill store. I want to start by saying that 90 cents of every dollar that you spend at Goodwill actually goes back into the community. And so that money helps us to bring about a lot of the resources and services that we're able to offer that I'll be speaking to today. All right, so our mission statement here is empowering individuals, strengthening families, and building stronger communities. And we want you to understand that our #1 mission is ending poverty through the power of work. And that being said, we know that a lot of the individuals on this call are obviously looking for work and wanting to upskill themselves. And so we offer the services at no cost to the community, and we're able to actually distribute and enhance a lot of the services that we offer as we go on, especially right now with 2020, with a lot of the virtual services that we're offering. We're really enhancing a lot of those because we know that the virtual times are, it's been very challenging in terms of just transitioning to where we are currently. So an overview of kind of what we do. Our Goodwill Career Centers are all throughout the Valley. So we have some in the West Valley, which is at 67th Avenue in Peoria, all the way over to 75th Avenue in Thomas. And then the furthest East Valley location we have for our Goodwill Career Centers is our 16th Street and Indian School location. And so these Goodwill Career Centers are able to actually serve your job service needs. So if you're wanting to build your resume, as well as if you need interview skills or any type of career services, that's what the Goodwill Career Centers can offer you. You don't need to make an appointment. You just walk in those doors Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. and they'll be able to help you. There'll be a career navigator that would be able to serve you one-on-one and actually answer any questions that you have. And like I stated, just understand that you do not need to make an appointment to go into those different career centers throughout the Valley. We also have the mycareeradvisor.com platform, and I highly encourage each of you to visit that website. It is a no-cost website, and it is a platform that really makes it user-friendly for individuals to build that resume. And the best way to think of it is it's an online virtual version of our career centers. So if you go on the My Career Advisor website, you'll see that it's very easy to create a free account. You just need your email information and your zip code and your first and last name, and then you'll be able to create an account so you can get in there. And then we also have trainings that we offer at our Goodwill Career Centers, but also we offer those outside of our Goodwill Career Centers that you can get on the mycareeradvisor.com platform. As I stated, this does bring the Goodwill Career Services online, so you can access this from anywhere, whether you have a tablet, your cell phone, your desktop computer, whatever means of technology that you have to get online. As long as you have the internet access, you will be able to access the mycareeradvisor.com platform. Like I said, it offers resume assistance, there's different resources, online trainings, and then local job information. So some of the different employers throughout the valley, this is not just for Goodwill. We have several different employers all throughout the valley that list their jobs and employment opportunities on the mycareeradvisor.com website. So you will find cybersecurity or IT positions on there that you'll be able to actually apply for, or it will direct you to the specific webpage of where to apply for those different jobs. And then of course you will find Goodwill positions as well. Just so you know, Goodwill does have IT positions, definitely. And then like I mentioned before, the Goodwill Career Centers, we have the career navigators as well as facilitators to facilitate those trainings. And I can tell you the facilitators are great. You will not only see them in our career centers, but you'll also see them on the mycareeradvisor.com platform, because they put together some virtual trainings for you that you can kind of go through at your own pace. So you can go through as you feel needed. And a lot of these different trainings that they offer at the career centers and online are certificate programs. And as I stated, they are at no cost. And then lastly, I will just say that if you want to connect with a Goodwill staff member, you can easily just email this email directly, and I'll put it in the chat feature as well, and somebody will directly get back to you and answer any questions that you have about the any questions that I went over with you today, or any hours or the locations or anything like that. And also a phone number that you might want to write down for any questions that you have about the career services we offer is 602-535-4444, and I will put that in the chat feature as well, and you'll be able to speak to a live representative when you actually call that number, so that if you have any questions, we'll be able to answer those questions. But like I said, I highly encourage you to stop in those Goodwill Career Centers, as well as visit that mycareeradvisor.com platform, because I think it would definitely help you with finding the job of your dreams in IT or cybersecurity. So thank you so much.
Ron, thank you. KJ, do we have any questions in the chat box?
Not at this time.
Okay, so Ron and Sarah, questions for you, a couple questions. If I'm a job seeker and I need some help with my resume, where should I go first? What should be my first step?
I'll speak to that in terms of the first step I will say is go onto the mycareeradvisor.com platform and create a actual login name. And so it's very simple if you go on that mycareeradvisor.com platform. But also if you aren't wanting to actually go onto that website and do that, you can definitely visit the in-person and go to one of the career centers throughout the valley. Like I stated, there's some in the West Valley. Like I said, I know a lot of the individuals on this call live in the West Valley, so 67th Avenue in Peoria and 75th Avenue in Thomas are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So they will be waiting for you there to help you out with your resume and help you with that.
For Arizona at Work, actually, if you go to the maricopa.gov/find a job, fill out that job seeker inquiry form, we will reach out to you, see what services you do need, resume or whatever else you may require. We'll get back with you very, very quickly to assist you. You can also go to either of our career centers, and in Glendale it's at 43rd and Olive, and our facility is open from 8 to 5.
Fantastic. Another question for you related to interviewing skills. So some of our job seekers may need some additional support preparing for an interview and feeling confident for an interview. Sarah, I'll start with you. What are your recommendations? Where can they find resources or get some extra help with that?
Actually, we do have a virtual platform that we do. The first step, though, again, just to reiterate, is that maricopa.gov find a job. That will tell us, okay, there's an option on there that will say that you can check off, this is what you want assistance with. So once we have that, we'll contact you and get you set up to participate in that virtual platform that will assist you, gives you the opportunity to do mock interviews and get feedback from our trainers who are experts.
Ron?
Yeah, so there's two options in terms of, I would say advancing your interview skills is you can go into our career centers and you will be able to set up an interview with, or a mock interview with one of the career navigators. And so they will set up a time with you to come in to make sure that obviously you show up on time for that interview. And then they will go through an interview with you and kind of tell you, kind of give you some constructive criticism on what some of the things that you should improve on. Also on the mycareeradvisor.com platform, there is an interview webinar, and that webinar will kind of go through some of the different strategies and skills that you need to get that job. And it's a great webinar. I highly encourage you to definitely visit that mycareeradvisor.com platform and go click on the webinars, and then you'll see the interview format.
Okay, thank you so much. Next, we will move into our next segment with Paula Livingston. Paula is the Dean of Instruction and Occupational Education and adjunct faculty for the business program and accounting at Estrella Mountain Community College. She's here to share with us education, training pathways, and partnerships. Paula, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, Christine. And thank you to WESTMARC for coordinating this event. For everyone on the line, you've heard a lot of really great information, so I hope you're taking notes. There's a lot to this, and hopefully I can add to what you've already heard about how we can help you prepare for a job in IT. You've heard a lot about the demand. Maybe you have the skills, maybe you don't have them yet. So hopefully I can share with you how you can get trained for a job in IT. First of all, I just want to acknowledge that yes, I work at Estrella Mountain Community College, but I am here representing both Estrella Mountain and Glendale Community College, who together and work collaboratively to serve the IT needs in the West Valley. So much of what I will share is information that you can find at both or either of our colleges. So keep that in mind, depending on where you're located. We've got the two convenient locations to serve you. So just know that I'm representing both. So yes, we are an educational provider here in the West Valley, but I want to quickly share before I talk about our programs and our partnerships and our certificates. I want to share some of the other resources that we have for job seekers here in the Valley. We do have a robust career services at both campuses, where you can, as you've heard from Sarah and Ron, come and get a career exploration, career assessment to find out what might be your type of career. You can also get help with your cover letter and your resume. We do mock interviews. We'll sit down with you and help you with all of that. During this crisis that we're in right now, we have moved to a virtual environment. So all of those resources are still available. You can access them from our website, and you can make an appointment to talk to somebody. One of the other critical components that we believe is crucial to a student's experience during their time at college is what we call work-based experiences. You might hear of those as internships or job shadows or career interviews. And so we promote those opportunities for students to give them a chance to find out about a career. Maybe it's something they're interested in, but they don't know very much about it. So it's typically embedded in your program of study. It might be an assignment in a class, or you might have a full internship where sometimes those are paid or unpaid. And then we might also have some funds to help with unpaid internships, but really helping to get students that hands-on real world experience while they're going through their college career. Additionally, you're going to hear about Pipeline AZ, I believe, after me, but wanted to share that we are also piloting a program with Pipeline AZ to help students connect with employers. So we have those resources available to our students and to the community. So take advantage of those, look on our website. So let me talk about some of the innovative programs and partnerships and recognitions that we have here at Estrella and Glendale. First of all, both Estrella and Glendale we have cybersecurity programs here. We both have the designation of a CAE, that's a Center for Academic Excellence. That is, it's a rigorous review of our curriculum. It is validated by the Department of Homeland Security and the National Security Agency. We are the only two community colleges in Arizona that have that designation. So I share that with you because to speak to the quality of our programs. Our curriculum has been validated, it has been checked, and it teaches those skills that you've heard Todd and Ron and Chip and others talk about that you're going to need to have a career in IT. At Estrella Mountain, we also have one specific track within the cybersecurity program. We call it the critical infrastructure track, and Todd, you spoke about this. This is exactly teaching those skills that you need to protect that operational technology and to protect the smart grid, to protect our power and our utilities. So that is a unique track that we have here at Estrella Mountain. So if you're interested in that, please come check that out. I want to share some other. We are also excited to launch a partnership with Microsoft. This is both colleges will be working with Microsoft to have a Microsoft Data Center Academy. The classes will be taught at both colleges, and then the actual data center will be located on Estrella's campus. But again, in partnership with our industry who helps develop the curriculum, ensure that we're teaching those skills. And then we've got the hands-on component of the data center. We'll be focusing on the CompTIA skills that you've seen, or certifications, sorry, the Security Plus, Network Plus, A Plus, Server Plus, all of those. We also, Estrella Mountain is super excited to launch a partnership with Intel for the first artificial intelligence program here in the United States. We have just been through a very rigorous process with Intel. Very fast paced to get that launched. That is a partnership between Estrella Mountain here on the west side and then Chandler Gilbert on the east side, and in partnership with Intel. So that program, we know that artificial intelligence is really becoming a part of almost every industry. It's not limited to just IT. And so those skills are becoming much more in demand across the field. And what we're hearing is that we don't even really know exactly what those jobs might do, but it's the job of the future. It's the jobs that are coming. And right now, many of those jobs are having to be offshore. We're having to find the resources for that offshore. So there's definitely a demand for that. That program focuses on AI for business solutions, natural language processing, computer vision, computer programming, Python, and then also machine learning. So it's really a robust program, and we're excited to be launching that. Glendale Community College has a partnership with Amazon for their Amazon Web Services. Again, having industry at the table, developing the curriculum, focusing on cloud computing and cloud services. So we've got a little bit of everything. Additionally, both colleges are designated as Red Hat Academies. So we have the programs that will prepare you to be a Red Hat certified system administrator or a Red Hat certified engineer. And the Linux Red Hat is one of the popular Linux operating systems out there. Additionally, Estrella Mountain Community College is a Palo Alto network. So that is being a part of that network brings their academic resources into our program and enhances our hands-on experiences for our students through the resources that they've got. So again, just sharing with you about the quality of the programs that we have here at Estrella Mountain Community College. I also want to share with you that we have pathways set up that can take a student right from high school to the community college and then on to the university level. I think Todd shared a slide that showed that sometimes you need a bachelor's degree in some of these fields. And so we don't want you to think, oh, well, I can't go to the community college because I can't earn a bachelor's degree. Right now you can't, but what you can do is you can start here at the low cost that we offer of our tuition and then pass on to a university. We are excited to announce that Estrella Mountain is entering into a consortium with the University of Arizona, specifically within the intelligence community. And so we have pathways from our Associates of Applied Sciences, or AAS degrees, to BAS degrees at the University of Arizona in cyber operations and intelligence and information. So we are thrilled to be able to offer those opportunities to students. You'll be able to earn 75 of your credits with us and then 45 with the University of Arizona. So it's definitely a cost-effective way to move on to that bachelor's degree. And then lastly, this slide is probably going to be hard. It's tiny, tiny font. I apologize for that, but there's a lot of information to get on here. but you can find this on our website as well. But what I wanted to highlight here is what the industry certifications are that we offer, as well as the AAS and the certificate programs here. Many times those industry certifications are embedded into our degree and certificate pathways. Some of these are very quick, short term. They're one class, maybe 2 classes. You can earn that industry certification rather quickly and get on to work. I also wanted to mention, I think Sarah brought it up, that there is funding for a lot of these short-term certificates available. We have financial aid here at the college, but we're also an eligible trainer. So we do have some programs that are listed on that list and eligible for other funds out there for students to earn these certificates. So hopefully I've shared some information about how you can prepare for your career in IT, how you can upskill, how you can add to your resources, and how you can prepare for that interview so you can get that job. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. We do have a question that came in for you. What resources or opportunities are available for alumni of Estrella Mountain Community College?
So alumni have a lot of opportunities. You can always come back and upskill or learn something new. You can also, I think one of the great things for alumni that we try to do is we try to bring alumni back to then come and talk to students about where they went after their career or after they finished their time with us, what kind of jobs they got, and how they can help other students prepare. You know, what did they wish they had done while they were in college? So we really appreciate when alumni are willing to come back and share. I think that's more hear it from your peer versus me as a faculty member telling you it's a different experience. So we love it when our alumni are willing to come back and share with our current students.
We have another question. This is for any of the speakers. Do any of you have any recommendations for older workers looking for opportunities?
Well, I can tell you in senior living, ageism is we are very sensitive to ageism. I'm 66. I'm still employed, we do not discriminate based on age at all. Come and bring your talents and treasures to Sun Health.
Another question for Paula. Do any of the courses for certifications include the actual test?
So most of them are prep for the test. Sometimes there can be a cost involved in it. So I can't say absolutely across the board yes or no, because it's a little bit dependent on the program and the course itself. But I will share that Glendale Community College is a Pearson VUE testing center. So a lot of times you can take the test right there at those locations. I will also share that our partnership with Microsoft is very committed to not only bringing in, they're building 3 data centers here in the West Valley, but not only bringing those opportunities for employment, but investing in the community. And they have a very robust scholarship opportunity for students who enter into that data center academy that would include the cost of taking those tests. So a lot of different opportunities. The best option is to come and talk to an advisor here about what you're looking at and find out what resources are available.
Sarah, I think you wanted to make a comment back to the prior question. I saw you come off mute.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that in terms of dealing with what might be an age issue, at Arizona at Work, when we can help you age-proof your resume and help you in answering some of those interview questions that may be a little bit, you may be hesitant with. So we can help you in that, in both of those areas to make you feel more comfortable in addressing that, what, is kind of the unsaid ageism, and 66 is an old chip because I'm coming along that route. So anyway.
Thank you. Thank you. Paula, I wanted to go back to 2 things from your presentation, a question and a comment. Comment 1 related to the ageism topic. A lot of these classes that Paula showed, some of the courses, certificates, some of those, again, if you just need one or two, they're 8, 12-week courses that a lot of times are offered virtual. So if you think about maybe not jumping into a huge degree, but you are struggling with where to start, some of those are very short term and easy to access. And then a question for you, Paula, in terms of, at the beginning of your presentation, you talked about community resources. Are those only available for community college students, or is that for anyone in the community?
No, actually, many times those resources are available to anyone in the community, especially those career resources. We've intentionally thought about that because there is such a great need for people in the community. And it was one of those things that was highlighted with the COVID-19, in that a lot of people were then found themselves out of a job, right? And how could we help as a community college for someone who's maybe not a student with us, but maybe needs to dust off that resume and go out and look for something different. So there are some resources that would be limited to being a student here, but those career readiness or career assessment, mock interviews, those types of skills or resources are available to anyone.
Fantastic, thank you. All right, we are going to move into our final segment of our webinar. Our final presenter is Mary Foote of Pipeline AZ, and Mary is the Managing Director at Pipeline AZ and the Director of Industry Engagement at Partnership for Economic Innovation. And this segment goes back to what we talked about at the very beginning of our webinar in terms of job matching and registering your profile at Pipeline AZ, which is part 2. For you, not only registering for this webinar, but also registering at Pipeline AZ so that you can take advantage of the next 3 weeks job matching opportunity. So Mary, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, great, thank you. You can move to the next slide. Okay, excellent. So yes, Pipeline AZ is a resource. It's complimentary. We are funded by the community. We provide career exploration skills, and we also match job seekers and employers based upon a proprietary skills algorithm that we have. So pipelineaz.com launched about a year ago. And how do we match people based on skills? It's really a layering. So we know that in the West Valley there are a number of former military job seekers. So if you have a military occupation code, that will result in an output of certain skills suggested as you're building a profile on the platform. We will also identify skills based upon any current and past job titles you have. That will go into the profile as well. And then you can add skills and credentials, anything like that, and that will build out your profile. Let us see the skills that you have so that we're matching you to the appropriate opportunities. Next slide. Thank you. So we know that the West Valley is unique in terms of the industry sectors of focus, where the job seekers are looking to be employed. And so we went ahead and worked with WESTMARC to develop West Valley Pipeline. And this is at westmarc.pipelineaz.com. And so it's a unique front page for job seekers and employers in the West Valley looking to connect with each other. Next slide. So kind of zooming in here to the page, you can see that we're really trying to highlight some of the target industry sectors that we know have been identified by the West Valley Pipeline strategy. And you can see there that IT and cybersecurity is one of those identified industry sectors, which is why we're doing the webinar today. We're really excited to let job seekers know about what's available within IT and cyber. Next slide. Okay, great. And so really this is the bulk of what you're going to see when you go to the page. So as I mentioned, building your profile is really quick and easy. So you can see there on the bottom right where it says job seekers, that's where you'll register and begin building that profile. If your job title's in the database, a list of suggestible skills will allow you to add years of experience to help define that best match. There are also thousands of certifications and credentials. So you begin typing those in and a recommendation will come up, easily searchable by keyword. And the profile is dynamic. So as you create a profile, if you find a job, you can then, make your profile no longer public. If you get a certification or you begin wanting to look for another opportunity, you can always go back into your profile, make yourself viewable to employers, and add skills, take away skills, whatever you want. It's a dynamic profile for you. You also have the ability to, once you've completed your profile, to have it exported into a professional resume. So we have a couple of different options there as well. So if you don't currently have a resume, building your profile and exporting it into one of our designs is a great way to kind of get started on that. We do also have career coaches. So another great thing about having this West Valley Pipeline specific page is that if you register through this page, our career coaches know that you are interested specifically in finding employment opportunities in the West Valley. So they can talk to you, help you fill out your profile if you have any issues, and really work with you to make sure that you're getting rooted to those jobs in the geographic area that you want, and also within the industry that you want. So you may not have a long list of IT skills, but our career coaches can take a look at your skills and help to understand what might be the positions available for you, what might be some credentialing gaps that are something that you can pursue. Maybe that's at Estrella. As Paula mentioned, we have been doing a pilot with the Maricopa Community College District. So if you are a community college student and you've already logged in through that pipeline specific site, all you need to do is go to this page, the westmark.pipelineaz.com page, and you can log in with your community college credentials. Our career coaches will know that you're a community college student, and we'll make sure that we're tracking your profile and getting you where you need to be. I know we have some employers on the call, so just to let you know, you can also complete an employer registration. We will work with you to do an ideal candidate profile. So based upon the skills and the responsibilities of the position, we'll make sure that we're tracking on those to get you to the best candidate. You'll also have an employee dashboard or a job seeker dashboard where you can see who's matching to the position and how to reach out to them. So thank you so much for letting us be a part of the webinar today. We're really excited to be connecting job seekers and employers in the West Valley, especially in the area of IT and cyber. There's a lot of need there right now, and happy to support. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to WESTMARC or myself personally. Thank you.
Any questions for Mary?
We have a question for Paula, just asking about when the partnership with Microsoft in the data center will start.
So we have a little bit of construction to do there. We are hopeful to get everything launched in January. I can tell you right now that we already have many of the classes. So Microsoft wants those students who go through the Data Center Academy to have CompTIA certifications. And within our curriculum that we have now, we already have many of those classes. So there's not a lot of work on the curriculum side that needs to be done. So we're hoping for a quick launch on that. So January, pending everything goes well.
Great, thank you. Any other questions for any of our presenters today?
This is KJ with WESTMARC. I don't have a question, but I just wanted to thank everybody. This was such an amazing webinar and so much amazing content, and hopefully everyone found it very valuable. So I just wanted to thank you all so much. Just to drive home again, I just want to make it very clear to everybody that if you are interested in the job matching portion, that will be happening between now and the following 3 weeks. So between today and November 18th, that job matching portion will happen. So if you have not already and you're an employer or a job seeker, please go on to that West Valley Pipeline landing page to create your profile so that you will be able to participate in that job matching portion that will be following.
Okay, So just to connect the dots before we close out here in just a moment, we started off the webinar with employers and industry sharing with you what is available today, what's potentially coming in the future, where the industry of IT and cyber is headed, and some great information for you to consider as you look at potentially a career or upskilling. We moved into resources. So Arizona at Work and Goodwill of Northern and Central Arizona provided some incredible information around how to prepare yourself for a job interview, how to prepare your resume, where to get assistance, as well as their connection to employment and resources that are at their centers. And then we rounded out our webinar with education, information, and those tracks for how to prepare yourself to engage in this industry, and then also Pipeline AZ, where to participate in the job matching. So there were many different data points. They all connect, and there's a lot of opportunity. So I just want to make sure that you know how to reach out, where to reach out. And again, this is being recorded. It will be available to you. Thank you to our presenters, our job seekers. We really appreciate your attendance. The contact information that you may need after the webinar is up on the slide. More resources are coming, so including a calendar invitation for future events where we'll focus on additional industries in the spotlight to include healthcare and others. Thank you everyone for attending, and we look forward to seeing you at a future event.
Thank you.